Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, welcome to an episode of Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host, Eric. How are you this evening? Good. Getting on to the funny memes with my beautiful co-hosts, Andrew and Michael. But first, depressing news. Well, it's been a huge day. Probably the most memorable thing is that Rishi Sunak completes a comeback from Treasury Minister to become Britain's first Prime Minister of color. And the pasty British are all shocked about that. I'm just kidding. This is USA Today. Only Americans care about that crap. Now, the British, what they're really concerned about is that the new UK PM, Rishi Sunak, married into almost $1 billion in money. So he is richer than King Charles III. In a country that is struggling to afford heating going into winter. So he'll definitely have their perspective in mind, and that'll be cool. There was a 5.0 earthquake, 5.1 magnitude earthquake jolting the Bay Area, which is why I'm assuming that we don't have any of our West Coast audience tonight, because they are all huddled. I'm just kidding. A 5.1 is really not that big of a deal. So it's probably fine. It's probably okay. The Nation's report card came out. Pandemic prompted a historic decline in student achievement on the Nation's report card. Declines in math and reading all across the board. It seemed like the older the kids were, the more they were reading below levels, doing math below levels. And there was a call for extensive money and support to rectify this and get students back on track. Otherwise, we have just seriously crippled our economic future and theirs. Big news over yesterday. There was a teacher and a teen killed in a shooting in South St. Louis High School. The suspect was also killed. No motivation for the shooting, of course. And as in all of these stories, he had an AR-15 style weapon and 600 rounds of ammunition, all which is perfectly legal. Brittany Griner over there in Russia had her sentence upheld. The Russian court has rejected a 9-year sentence that she's been given. There are a considerable number of people who are saying that the American government should be negotiating a deal, maybe even swapping out some, Russian arms dealers that we know and getting, Griner back as soon as possible. We saw the passing of Defense Secretary Ash Carter. Also, Leslie Jordan, actor, 67, passed away in Hollywood yesterday in a car crash. Apparently built up a phenomenal social media following over COVID and will be deeply missed. In news that's kind of funny, Mark Zuckerberg's multi-billion-dollar metaverse investment has drawn the ire from at least one prominent tech investor, Brad Gerstner from Altimeter Capital, who, by the way, put capital right in their title so you know that they are greedy bastard capitalists. He published a letter telling Meta that it has lost the confidence of investors because of the metaverse. Gerstner suggested massive layoffs and limiting the company's metaverse investment for Meta to regain focus. So, greedy capitalists saying the quiet part out loud again. But the fun part is that Zuck has lost a whole lot of money since then. I mean, billions in personal, ever since he came up with the metaverse. And all he's got to show for it are these cartoon legs. I don't know if you can see this, but there you go. Speaking of people who lost a bunch of money, today Adidas cut ties with a rapper Kanye. And Forbes estimates that his net worth has now plummeted $400 million. So, hey. And we always close out the news from Facebook for the Blind with a cutesy animal story. This is just one of the entries in the animal photography comedy contest on USA Today here. And we've got two penguins, and one is giving the other penguin the slightly half-turned flipper in the air, sort of giving him the hand, turning away the head and going, "Not now." And that's about as close as I really got to
I said good day.
To a funny closing animal story there. So, there we go. That was the news for October 25th, 2022, from Facebook for the Blind. This is the part where I remember it's a bad idea to get rid of those controls.
This is the part where you tell us who's next.
You're next.
Oh, I'm next.
You're always next, because I need time to get set up for Andrew.
That's right. No, I
Hey,
remember.
Nan's in the house.
This is a tight crowd tonight. A very tight crowd.
Yes.
We lost
Just
Jabari.
All right, here I go. Round one. This is the wholesome round. Here we have a picture of 5 sperms, and then an egg, and one of the sperm has reached the egg, and it's captioned, "Winning this race was the worst mistake of my life." Wholesome round, everybody. Don't forget, Mondo Mascots, friend of the show, Mondo Mascots, says Hanetsky Juju, a man with a chicken leg for a head who carries a turtle around, is the mascot of Murugane City. Here he is on a boat yesterday. And there's a picture of a mascot with a man who has a chicken leg for a head, a little mustache, and he's carrying a turtle. And he's sitting on a boat. I don't know how to say again that he has a chicken leg for a head, but that's more like a turkey leg.
That is
if you're familiar with mascot culture in Japan, they've truly run out of every other household object at this point.
Yeah, it's so true, but it is really, really, really cute.
That's adorable.
And I will say this: what they put bands around the leg part of it's like a drumstick, chicken leg.
Yeah.
And they put bands around the leg part,
like a little samurai ponytail thing.
like a samurai ponytail. And so then the bone at the end does look like a top knot, kind of. This is a very, very, very clever mascot, I'll say. Yeah, moving on. This is a picture of a T-shirt that has a picture of a smoker on it, like you would smoke, like a grill smoker, and it says, "Yeah, I smoke."
Me too, smoker.
This is just a great gift idea for Dad.
Right.
Trash Can Paul, friend of the show, Trash Can Paul. He says the AI prompt was salmon in the river, so majestic, and then you see his pictures of filleted salmon just floating down the river.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know. It really is. I got about 5 more for this round. Eric, this one's for you. I just got this for you.
Hang on.
Eric's smoking cigarettes outside during his meme. Well, then I'll read it first. Candlejack, this is from the Ugly Side of Tumblr, friend of the show, the Ugly Side of Tumblr, who says, this is in all caps, "What is this? What is this? What is this, a library in a theater? All of my dreams have just come true." And then the second comment says, oh my God. And this is Pure Insanity says, "This is genuinely the most beautiful thing I've ever seen."
Fuck yeah.
And in Contrate says, "This is a bookstore called El Ateneo in Buenos Aires, Argentina. You can have coffee while sitting on the stage. One of my favorite places in my city." It's like it's just like a theater. It's so ornate and beautiful, like you're going to a musical or something. Looks like 3 balconies tall, and gorgeous books just everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent lighting.
Boys, it sounds like we need to make a trip down to Buenos Aires.
Sure.
No, I've done all my traveling. I'm not, unless you want to bring that to Minnesota. I'm not going to see it. Well, I've seen all the things I'm going to see.
I can respect that.
My travel days are over.
I respect that.
I tried just going to Iowa and I got COVID. So no, I'm not going to Buenos Aires. This is a picture of a lady, an older lady, like the average age of your Facebook user these days. Her name is Loretta Grace. And on December 1st, she messaged someone, "I'd like to buy your chairs if you still have them." That's December 1st. She messages, "I'd like to buy your chairs if you still have them." There's no response. And then on January 8th, she messages again, question mark, "I don't have any chair for sale and never did. Sorry." She read her own message a month later. and thought
Oh,
it
God.
was from someone else.
That's precious.
Oh my.
Salad Days reports breaking news. Lead singer helps unload gear.
Whoa.
Can't be true.
Whoa.
The subtext says drummer is now ready for sound check on time. Heard it
That
here
had
first,
to be
guys.
me.
For the show Salad Days.
That
Wow.
had to be like the onion.
Two more. Jesus Christ. Friend of the show, Jesus Christ. At Jesus
Oh.
of Nazareth, Jesus of Naz 3:16. Jesus says, "Blessed are they who take a nap without feeling an ounce of guilt, for they shall defeat the Protestant work ethic." So that's the Beanaptitudes. And finally, the picture is a cartoon. This is from, I believe, New York Magazine. The artist is Glenn Nissan. Picture of a couple walking toward a table. There's a cafe. The table is at the cafe. It looks like a nice little bistro. And it says, and the guy is talking, or I think no, the woman's talking, and she says, "Oh, this looks like a cute place to argue." And
Very nice.
now we'll throw it over to TD. See what you got for round one.
Yes, the infamous TD short round one coming at you guys.
Short
Just
round one, but you make up for it with girth.
Saying my short round one's coming at you is a weird way to spend a Tuesday. All right, let's do this.
Trying. Here we go.
I love you, Sizemore.
Thank you. Boop.
All right, friend of the show, Charlie Classic, kicking off the wholesome round here. It just says single mothers like dressing their kids like men who left them, and here we got like three, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 year old boys, just dressed like total fuck boys. You know, the baggy weird pants and chains and straight billed ball caps. Everyone knows you have to bend the bill, and yeah, they just look horrible. And like I said, single mothers love dressing their kids as the men who left them.
That's a really fucking good take.
It's really yeah.
I like the wallet chain on the little 2 foot tall kid.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's not pulling it off. Next. All right, Cats on Cocaine, friend of the show, posted this. It says, therapist, what brings you here today? Wife, his obsession with cats is out of control. Me, slowly pushes wife off couch. Like, and they, whenever they do it, they have to make direct eye contact with you too. Oof. Bothering. Next. Disgruntled Vets Nation, one of my favorites, posted this picture. It's of Ron Swanson, Saint Swanson from Parks and Rec, and he is very disgruntled looking. You know, it's the meme. He's got his mittens on, like 4 jackets, a hoodie, a couple hats. It says "Me today" and probably for the next 4 months, because it's the Midwest and it's getting cold, folks.
I know. I'm like, this is just a true meme.
It's got to be even worse for Labune. Next up, we got House of Geekiness. It's a picture of a cat looking very pensive, very concentrative, and it says, maybe Dracula is angry all the time because he can't eat garlic bread. I feel that because, like, garlic bread soothes my soul. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah, and friend of the show, Sandy Ott, has a whole thing on that, actually.
Oh.
dying to eat garlic bread.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing Tom has survived. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I fear for Tom. Next up, my buddy Nathan Mintz tagged me in this. It is a picture of Jesus talking to a very disgruntled-looking boy, you know, very ashamed. He's got his hand over his eyes, facing his hand, looking down, and it says, "Jesus telling you that indeed wearing Crocs is a sin." I don't like this because this was a direct jab at me from my friend Nathan Mintz, not friend of the show, Nathan, bad Nathan, because he knows I love to rock my Crocs. I wear Crocs almost everywhere.
Gotcha.
Here.
Rocking the Crocs.
Yeah. Friend of the show, friend of the universe, Jason Jester. Another banger meme this week. It says, I wish a mother quacker would, because one picture we have a little metal bronze looking duck figurine. The next panel, you realize that some bitch is a pocket knife. So duck around and find out.
Nice. Lovely.
I like it.
Duck
Okay,
around
last
and
one.
find out.
Last one I got for this round comes from Midwest versus Everybody,
Nice.
and it's a picture of the Nebraska Cornhusker mascot, I believe. Looking away in disgust from Purdue Pete, the Purdue Boilermakers mascot, creepy looking dude there in West Lafayette, Indiana. But he's coming at him with a sign that says, "We have better corn," and that is labeled as Midwest trash talk. Midwest trash talk.
That is very Minneapolis nice.
I mean but that's so accurate because I was actually in an argument today with two of my coworkers of who has the better sweet corn, Iowa, Illinois, or Indiana.
That's funny.
That's my wholesome round. Kicking it over to you, Sizemore.
All righty, yo. I'm going to cut right into Facebook for the Blind, FB for TB, a weekly memecast. If you're not following Facebook for the Blind, FB for TB, a weekly memecast, you are missing out. This is just a conversation that says, me, saging the house. Ghost, wow. Me, puts up ghost Halloween decorations. Ghost, wow.
Yay.
This next one's from friend of the show, Nathan Jones. Nathan recounts a story. 2 weeks ago, I was putting Maisie down for bed. We were reading stories when she took out her dolls, started lining them up on the bed and covering them with a blanket. I laughed when I saw her and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" She gets real serious and turns to me and says, "We need to go to bed because we've got to see Uncle Willie tomorrow." I was shocked because I had an Uncle Willie that passed away when I was about 14, and I never brought him up around the kids. It was weird that she said that. I asked her, "Do you know Uncle Willie?" She nods yes and says again, "We're going to see him tomorrow." I laugh it off and tell her to go to bed. It was the strangest feeling. The next day, my Aunt Janice calls and tells me that my Aunt Eileen had just passed away. I asked Maisie again about my Uncle Willie, and she says she doesn't know what I'm talking about. I am trying to process this. What happened? Which I think is about as wholesome as I'm getting this round. Creepy, huh?
Dude.
It's from friend of the show, Steve Rendell. If you're not following Steve Rendell, you are missing out. Hat tip to Courtney Machusak. He reposts Socialite, who says, "I think Sisyphus would have been much happier if they'd had a big number on top of the mountain that incremented with each successful rock push, and also if they let him spend those points on fun stickers for the rock."
Dude, that's good for me.
Friend of the show, Chuck's repost Kenny Booyah, who says some dude just walked on stage after Herschel Walker rally and offered Herschel a roll of goddamn condoms. Priceless. It's really funny because they look very close to each other, like he's explaining it, like he's yelling very close to him. These are free condoms. Fucking loved it. You see what this next one is here. Got about 3-4 minutes left. Autistic dominatrix turned scientist reposts homunculus argument, who says, was talking to my therapist about how I get myself some sense of achievement every day in life. I told her that I occasionally give myself a little secret self-appointed tasks where the only goal is just to manage to achieve some completely random, pointless, arbitrary goal without anyone else finding out or asking me about whatever weird shit I'm currently in the middle of doing. There's no punishment for failing to do so. I don't dread any kind of outcome, nor is there any other reward for succeeding the task than managing to succeed in it. A little challenge with no other goal or purpose than being a little challenge. She said, this is very interesting, and asked me to name an example of one of these quests that I've given myself. I froze, drawing a blank. since my current arbitrary goal is to see how long I can go without having to explain to her what furries are. All right, second to last for the wholesome round. Friend of the show, Brett Duck, reposts this Night Owls Only tattoo studio, and he has circled Night Owls Only. And then he circled the hours. Closes 6 p.m. That's false advertising, man. And finally, for my wholesome round, before we throw it back to Michael, friend of the show, Mike, passes on Jeffrey Bean, who passes along a 2-panel picture of his son. It says, I just want everyone to know that my 2-year-old insisted on being pants on Halloween. it's just his kid, some armholes. It's just a pair of jeans that are too big for this kid all the way up to his shoulders. Just want everyone to know that my 2-year-old insisted, it's his idea, on being pants for Halloween.
That kid's awesome.
Yeah. And that concludes my medium length round 1. God darn it. Michael, do the thing.
Here I go.
Thank
you. So round 2. Starts with this is a retweet of Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it's retweeted by a friend of the show, Planets Suck. And Neil deGrasse Tyson tweets, just to remind you of what the size of Earth looks like compared to the size of Jupiter. And it's the Earth, and there's just a huge, just massive wall that Jupiter is. And Planet Suck retweets this with the caption, I don't care at all. Very aptly named Twitter handle you have there. Friend of the show, Planet Suck. Grandmaster Trash at Exact Trash Only says, damn, girl. You sit and contemplate the mysteries of the universe with that ass?
That's funny.
Oh, Glow Fuck Yourself. Friend of the show, Glow Fuck Yourself. If you're not following Glow Fuck Yourself, go fuck yourself. Says, there's a picture of a conversation via text message. And the text comes in and it says, hi, is this Paul? Paul says, who is this? He writes, this is Erica from the dentist's office. I got your number from your file. He replies, pretty sure this violates HIPPO. Shot, I guess. And she replies, I'm not flirting with you. We have you on video stealing thousands of dollars of x-ray equipment.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here's a picture of a shirt. Someone took a picture of the back of someone's shirt. It says, the mayor from Jaws is still the mayor in Jaws 2. It is so important to vote in your local elections.
Yeah.
Reagan Walker says, yeah, that guy, he definitely ran unopposed. Reagan Walker says, I just read something that said, think of the person you love most in the world. Oh, this one's beautiful. I didn't even know this was in this batch. I'm going to read this again. I just read something that said, think of the person you love most in the world. Why do you love them? I bet it has nothing to do with their body. I just feel like it's something everyone needs to hear. Yeah.
Fun.
Really,
it's pretty deep
really
for our
illuminating.
show, Michael.
It was an accident. It was just a happy little accident.
Every once in a while it slips through.
That's right. Every once in a while there's a crack in the dam. At Bonnie Tangy, friend of the show, Bonnie Tangy. We love what you're doing out there, Bonnie Tangy. She has a picture of herself taking a selfie on the beach. Behind her, in the sand, it says, will you marry me? And she captioned this picture. I wrote, will you marry me in the sand? Hope it fucks up a couple's holiday. I got 3 more for this round. Progressive Christianity. Friend of the show, Progressive Christianity. This is a 2-panel comic. The first panel, there's a guy with his face in his hands, and he's sitting on a park bench. He's being comforted by another guy about his age, whose hand is on his back. And the guy comforting him says, don't worry, Nick. It's all according to God's plan. And then we have a picture of Moses holding one of the tablets coming down off Mount Sinai. And it says, on the tablet, it says, 1, create universe. 2, give Nick childhood trauma with no healthy way to cope until he ruins everything.
Oh, God.
It's all part of God's plan. And yeah, I have two more. Delight to Delirium says, you know what? Let me start over. Delight to Delirium retweets Glenn Henriksen, who says, when men refer to themselves as alpha males, I hear that in the context of software, where alpha versions are unstable, missing important features, filled with flaws, and not fit for the public. And then Delight to Delirium just says, I find the term and concept hilarious and embarrassing, but honestly, I kind of love it. Yeah, alpha males, like software, and the alpha version. Nice. And my last one for round 2 comes from Sam, friend of the show, Sam, at Sweegle, who says, IQ test came back negative. Prayer God is good.
That's pretty funny.
Praise God.
Indeed.
All right, Tini, what you got for round 2?
Hang on. Crap. This is hard. This is harder than it should be, guys.
That's what she said.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice job there.
Good save. That's good.
My immaturity knows no bounds.
Absolutely.
And got it. All right, come on, do the thing. And boom. And Didi.
Wow.
Okay. First up here, kicking off round 2, friend of the show, Dab King. It's a picture of Dave Chappelle from the Chappelle Show. His character Tyrone Biggins, the crackhead, looking very confused, and it says, "Me, did you know that a dolphin will cut off an eel's head and use the body to masturbate with it?" And then that picture just says, "Crackhead who just wanted $1 outside 7-Eleven." Very good. Dolphins, man, the freaks. All right, moving on. Joe Lancy, friend of the show, love the guy. He reposted Beth, a haunted cat toys post. It's a picture of a cemetery with a couple of bouncy houses just chilling in the cemetery. And it says, I want a bouncy house at my funeral, and I want to be in it too. When all my friends jump, my lifeless body will bounce with them. What fun. And I was thinking Viking funeral personally, but that might replace that idea. I kind of like that. All right, moving on.
Right on.
Don't know the legalities of that, but all right. Witchcraft, Sex, and Sass, friend of the show.
Nice.
Posted work. Bring something for the potluck, but nothing weird. And me says, I'll bring a simple cheese board. The cheese board. It's a charcuterie board, but it's made to look like a Ouija board, made out of cold cuts, dairy products. And there's even a little bread Ouija thing that you put your little lens thing.
The pointer.
That's the word I couldn't think of.
The planchette.
That's the word I couldn't think of. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool. A little Ouija cheese board.
I'd eat that. Oh, wait. Crap. This way, right? Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Okay. I love tequila. Friend of the show. Friend of everybody. Post a picture here with a stop sign just barely peeking out behind some bushes because the bushes have kind of overgrown the stop sign. So you can barely see the word stop. It says, when your friend is about to do some stupid shit, but you kind of want to see what happens.
No, stop. Come back.
Yeah, I've hung out drunk with both of you gentlemen. I know exactly how this meme feels. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that, man.
No, TD, don't. No, TD, stop. Yeah,
wait,
next.
Stop. Come
no,
back.
TD, no. Don't do that. Friend of the show, Jason Jester. Once again here. He just wants to speak to a human being and says to speak with a representative, say representative. And labeled me. And this picture of this baby down in like a sumo wrestler stance, got a cell phone up to his face, and he had just pissed off screaming, you know, like he wants to speak to a representative now. He just was very mad, baby.
Very nice.
Okay, moving on.
Matt.
Blunts and Bongs, friend of everybody, my personal favorite. Kind of a callback to last week as we get close to.
Sorry.
Wow. Okay. I had a stroke. We're fine. As we get closer to Halloween, remember, no stoner likes your kid enough to give them their edibles.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm a little mad that Blunts and Bongs stole my joke, but okay.
The whole your joke. Like,
I know.
Anybody who thinks that like they're putting drugs in candy, they literally have never met a person on drugs.
No.
Like,
yeah.
Not
Like, yeah, that's. I'm not
Michael,
kidding
you cut out. But dude, the fentanyl that looks like Skittles story has been going around. It's like, oh no, they're putting fentanyl in Skittles. Throw out Skittles. Don't let your child eat the rainbow.
Give them to me.
Right. Yeah. It's a conspiracy from Big Skittles. That's what I think.
Skittle.
Jason Jester again here, friend of the show. Love the guy. It's very weird Twitter conversation that happened a while back, and this dude Rob just said Hulu needs to break into the Netflix and chill market. I think they should form an alliance with Astroglide and start shipping out hot lube with each monthly prescription. Astroglide just commented to Hulu, "You in?" Hulu's like all the way in.
I'm all the way in. Oh my god!
That warms my heart. Like everyone understood the assignment here.
When corporations flirt.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It is.
Like a newborn puppy. Next. This is my last one for round 2 here. It's GR Bliss. He posted a picture of a news story, and it's circled, guy accidentally shoots himself in the face after bullet ricochets off an armadillo.
Wow.
Let that marinate for a moment.
That's a lot.
An anonymous person commented, "Parmadillo."
God damn it. It's a good. It's good, but you know, I mean, like respect, but like, oof.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect that joke. Okay, that's all I got for round 2. Kicking it back to the lovely Eric Sizemore.
Yay, sorry, had something lined up and lost it, so I'm going to be silent for a moment and just play it in a second. Here we go.
The host with the New York Daily Post.
You around books all day? Do you think you have what it takes?
So, friend of the show, Chelsea, sent me this delightful library-related video, so I have to share. So, here we go.
Oh, you love books so much, huh? Wish you could just be around books all day? Do you think you have what it takes to work at a library? Yes, again. Did you know? Anyone can walk into any library at any time during hours of operation. No one is stopping them. Do you have the nerve to shush these TikTok teens when they want to use books they will never read as a backdrop for their photos and dance videos? How disrespectful! As a librarian, you are a public servant and must allow this guy in. This unemployed, pretentious scumbag is gonna take up a whole table all day, every day, pretending to be Jack Kerouac or Jack Torrance, just making a damn mess everywhere. And you will have to clean up after him. Did you know? No one can check out encyclopedias. Did you even know the Dewey Decimal System? 130 is occultism. I'd suggest you get super tight with the devil before joining us.
That's just good life advice. Right there. It's good life advice.
I've been every person except the librarian. I said I've been every person video except the librarian. I've been everybody else.
Oh, too funny.
Not true,
Nice.
Eric.
Beg your pardon?
Pay attention to my. Stop trying to multitask. You're bad at it.
I know. I'm terrible at it. All right, moving on. This one is from Your Meme Has Now Been Collectivized and Redistributed. Gratitude, comrade. And they have reposted women's rights _news. We have a quote from Peter White who says, I think the golden rule for men should be, if you're a man, don't say anything to a woman on the street that you wouldn't want a man saying to you in prison. Hey, baby. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Moving on, and unfortunately, breaking news, man invents fictional scenario and then gets angry about it. There's too much. I would tell you to follow this, but there's just too much. I get like 100 a day. This is a repost from Frank C. Says, it sucks that most women are liberal and conservative men get stuck with the smaller dating pool. I got married last year, and I guess my wife is pretty good, but I bet I could have had an even hotter one if women weren't so easily indoctrinated by the left. Oh my God. All right, moving on. Again, more breaking news from Man Invents Fictional Scenario, then gets angry about it. Dawning says, clocks go back on November 6th. I hope mine goes back to when people had morals, values, loyalty, appreciation, and respect. Lots of comments on this one. First one, Hayden Phillips, who says, morals equal were willing or legally forced to stay closeted and miserable, had no choice but to bear children they didn't want, couldn't feed, or were a risk to their own ability to stay alive. Loyalty equals couldn't get divorced. Let's go back to when morals, values, loyalty, appreciation, and respect were enforced by the law. All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Drew Harmon, literal friend of the show, says, watching Halloween H2O from 1998, and it's weird that Michael Myers does so much driving in it, but makes sense that while in the car between murders, he's listening to Rush Limbaugh. Yeah, I was like, of course he is. I got about 6 more here. Amy Sedaris posts, I wish Tucker Carlson was more like Rush Limbaugh.
Wow.
And I just commented, dead. Moving on. Breaking news, man invents fictional scenario, then gets angry about it because I get about 100 of these a day. Reposting Jason Campbell, who says, Daily Wire host on anime, I think it's all satanic. I have no argument for it. I have no argument for why it's satanic. It just seems that way to me. This was posted in Reddit and r/insane people Facebook. It just feels satanic. Just how you can gauge that. And this next one's interesting. This is from Amelia Bonkdoter, who reposts a picture of Alanis Morissette from that one Kevin Smith movie. And it says, call the Christian God a she, her, and watch how fast they care about pronouns.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Dogma.
Dogma. Thank you. Yes, indeed. All right, 3 more for round 2. This is from Mr. Rogers Guillotine Emporium. Mr. Rogers, thanks for listening. You are awesome. He has posted this headline, which says, porn star Brandon Cummings from the famous Let's Go Brandon series of male-on-male porn has been arrested after beating up 35 neo-Nazis. And Mr. Rogers comments, the hero we needed.
Listen, I'm going to tell you like this, man. I've had the privilege in my life of running in some crowds where I knew some gay guys who abso-fucking-lutely just smashed the teeth of some neo-Nazis and just other homophobes. Like, the way that they always say it is they always go like, they think that my sexual orientation makes me weak. Like they've never met a heterosexual guy who couldn't fight.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
they're like, there's so many straight guys who can't fight. And so they assume that me being gay, I also can't fight. And then my favorite, I won't tell you his name, but he goes, bitch, I was a sex worker in the 80s. He goes, let me tell you something. I can fucking fight. Shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Whoop, I'm gonna do that one. All right, got about 3 more here. So this one is my friend Chuck again making a second appearance on the show with memes to piss off conservatives. And if you're not following memes to piss off conservatives, you know, that's okay. This is the standard 2 children in the corner backing away and crying. And then we see that they're scared of a bunny in a bucket. And the children that are scared and crying are labeled conservatives. And the bunny and the bucket are labeled things that don't happen.
Yeah.
It's every fucking day. Oh my god. All right, this one was very popular on my page. Eric Sizemore. If you're not following Eric Sizemore, you're missing out. This is a picture of the Brady Bunch. It just says, "Don't say you're into hardcore death metal if you don't know who this is." It was pretty fun, man. I had a lot of people commenting on the Pete whatever amateur hour and people naming the band the Silver Platters. They were called the Silver Platters. And my friend Jeffrey says, I had Bobby's belt, and that is a Herb Tarlick belt. If he's got matching shoes with that, that is a full future Herb Tarlick from WKRP right there. Yeah, got considerable amount of traffic. And the last one for this round from my dearest friend Denatra. Denatra Philpott Boyd Brown. If you're not following Denatra Philpott Boyd Brown, you are missing out. She says, reposts Harriet Thugman, who says, you can't have an honest conversation about anything with people who equate wealth with intelligence. That is just, in my opinion, so tight. That is such a strong amen. And I also asked Denatra if it's okay when I steal this from my show and we do proper citations, if I can call her the Notorious DPBB. So that one's from the Notorious DPBB. Handing it back to Michael for round 3.
You know, I think I have some anti-wealth. Oh, not this round, actually. It's going to be post with the most. Going to take a little detour here, everybody, for round 3. Spooky Cold Fox at Roast Malone says, tweeted, there is nothing in the song Monster Mash that explicitly says it was a dance. It could have been an orgy.
I've been thinking lately it's definitely an orgy.
She replies to herself and says, okay, I read all the lyrics and it was definitely an orgy. So let's work through this. The lyrics to the Monster Mash, which may or may not be an orgy. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. My monster from his slab began to rise.
Oh.
And suddenly, to my surprise, he did the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the Monster Mash. From my laboratory in Castle East to the master's bedroom, where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was a rockin'. All were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hounds. The Coffin Bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. It was a Monster Mash, and it goes on and on and on. And I gotta say,
it's compelling.
About an orgy. Didi, this one, I was wondering if you would read for me. I'm getting over a little something. I was wondering if you could do this. I'll start. This is a picture of Garfield looking at John. John is pulling something out of the oven. Would you read it for me there, Didi?
Why do they call it an oven when you... Why do they call it an oven when you the cold food out of hot? Eat the gears to a grind halt, bro.
All right. Since Didi clearly can't read, let me try. Why do they call it an oven when you in the cold food of out hot? Eat the food. I fucking love these memes, man, where you're just like you're just reading and scrolling, and then all of a sudden your brain goes, wait, what the fuck? Blow fuck yourself is back. This woman asked on Facebook, how can you make a fractured rib heal quicker? And the first comment says barbecue sauce. And the second comment says play sweet music for it. And she replies, I'm covered in barbecue sauce listening to Lana Del Rey. What do now? Trash Can Paul is back. It's a picture of a red pill and a blue pill. It says, oh shit, I took both pills. And now I'm stuck in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
God, that's horrifying.
Squeezy for real. Friend of the show, Squeezy for real. It's been a while, Squeezy. We're glad you're back. He texted a picture of himself. There's a picture of him. Someone has snapped this picture of him. And he's wearing a T-shirt that says, ask me about my social anxiety. And so they commented on this picture, bro, if you got social anxiety, why would you want people to ask you about it? Squeezy replies, it seemed like good merch idea when I was high. Aborted Dream says, my dental plan is, quote, I guess I'll just chew on this side of my mouth from now on, end quote. And that's sad and true. Salad Dazed, friend of the show, Salad Dazed, has a picture of James Corden. And who's the singer in this picture?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Ah, Ed Sheeran.
And Ed Sheeran is playing a guitar and singing, and James Corden is driving and singing. Salad Days says, the world is falling to bits and everything is terrible, but at least I'm not in this car. 2 more memes, 2 more for this round. John Pavlovitz says, in your own words, how would you describe libertarians? And John Spalding says, house cats. Libertarians are house cats. They are convinced of their fierce independence while utterly dependent on a system they don't appreciate or understand.
Nice.
And my last one for round 3, the penultimate round, is a picture of a scary looking man, long fingers, wearing like a trench coat and a hood over his head. You can just see his mouth, this grainy, creepy, eerie picture behind him. The movie poster, and it says, say his name. You won't be laughing when he kills you. The title is The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
Oh my.
All right, Didi. Let's see what you got for round 3.
All right, let's do this. We're going to bring it on home here.
I mean, sure, you can say that. It's like, crap. Yeah, multitasking. No, never claimed to be good at it at all.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
In slice. That's all right. That's okay. I suck. Take it out in post.
No, you won't.
I won't. Well, now come on, TD. Last time.
Right. Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
Didi.
Apparently, I took out half your set. That's how good I am at it.
And your set.
And all the sets. Everybody's sets.
Okay, round 3. It's a picture of a steak cooked to a gorgeous medium rare. That's how I like it. If you don't like it, you're wrong. Supposedly, it's a picture of the steak, and it says, supposedly this cow is farting a lot and ruining the environment. So I ate it. You're welcome. Be a hero. Eat me. Okay, moving on.
Head down there.
Llama in a Dracula cape, at Llama in a Tux, says, why do dryers have a less dry option? Which one of you is ordering your socks medium rare?
I like that.
There we go. There's the laugh I wanted. All right, moving on. We're going to move on again because Sideboard did this in the last round. So,
Well, but I think it's important, though, the setup on that. There are no litter boxes in your local schools for kids identifying as cats.
that is true. Yes.
Things
First
that don't
reference
happen
battle.
for 400, Alex.
Yes.
All right, wait.
Okay. Next up, Dab King, making a second appearance in this show, says, when you hit a pothole and spill some of your drinky poo into your lap, and it's a picture of this inebriated looking older gentleman holding up a glass of booze saying, "Cheers, genitals." The fuck it list, front of the show, the fuck it list.
Nice.
Post a picture of this cute little cat winking and smiling, just looking all cute. It says, "When I die, I'm coming back as a cat and I'm forcing all of you to look at my butthole." Cats love to show their buttholes. That's the joke on that one. Next, okay.
Oh, darn it.
You're good. I got you. Drinking memes, front of the show. Post a screen grab from the movie Tombstone. We have Val Kilmer in his great portrayal as Doc Holliday, and it says, "When you're in your 30s trying to drink like you used to, but it's 9:30 and your friends are already trying to put you in an Uber," and it's just Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday looking all drunk and leaning over and shit. Says, "Nonsense! I have not yet begun to defile myself."
I do
Love that
declare.
line.
I do
I
declare.
love that line. Next, excuse me. Next up, we got another meme from Crab Rangoon memes.
Nice.
Follow them. Pretty funny. It says, "When you're broke and your friend buys you crab rangoons," and we have a picture of an adult cheetah and a little cheetah baby cub, and it says, "Thank you." And we got the next picture. It's zoomed in on the cub a little more. It says, I appreciate this," and then it zooms in all the way up on the little baby cheetah's face. Says, "I would fight for you." That's the power of the crab rangoons, folks.
Dude, I do love me some crab rangoon.
Oh, dude, who doesn't, man? You know who doesn't? Nazis.
You know what though? It's an American thing, so Asians don't like crab rangoon. People from Rangoon don't even know about crab rangoon.
They don't know about crab rangoon. Yeah, but
Well,
but crab rangoon is good.
It's very
yeah, they're good. They're good. Okay, moving on. Yeah. We got Men's Humor posting one of my favorite ones I found this week. It says, "This is never gonna happen." And it says, "Told my kid if they beat this game, I'll buy him a PS5. And it is a picture of the most notorious game from my childhood, the old NES version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know. I think that game is still unbeaten.
I think it had a flaw in it that made it unbeatable.
Yeah, it was something like what is it? Almost 30 plus years after this game came out. I don't know if I don't know anyone who's ever beaten this game.
Wow.
I'm gonna look it up. This game almost ended me growing up. Like, because
yeah.
I'm an addict. Like, I was like, I'm gonna fucking figure this out. And like, dude, I really do think I read this. I'll look it up. You can go to the next meme, but I'm almost certain like this is an unbeatable game.
Okay. The hippies were right. Posted this Bizarro.com cartoon.
Love
And
Bizarro.com.
Oh, they're great. But we have a gentleman dressed up in a Grim Reaper costume for Halloween because he's holding the mask. But he goes, "Hey, are you on your way to a Halloween party too?" Well, he's talking to another Grim Reaper who I don't believe is wearing a costume. He says, "Actually, neither of us are going to a party, bud." And yeah, that made my little shriveled up black little soul just chuckle.
Nice.
Okay, last one for the third round here, penultimate round. The Fuck It list, second appearance on the show, says rich people splurging. Fuck it, I'll buy a yacht. Says me splurging. Fuck it, I'm getting an appetizer.
I remember appetizers.
Right?
Oh, back in the pre-COVID times.
Oh, yeah.
All right, coming in hot on round three. This is just a picture of my avatar, and it just says, "Today I learned Liz Truss is the only prime minister to not have an episode of Doctor Who aired during their premiership since the show began in 1963. Just trivia. Anyway, a lot of people liked it. I thought it was a fun thought. I also ended up having quite the exchange with some friends of mine about the lettuce, the iceberg lettuce that they were streaming online. Will this lettuce last longer than Liz Truss? And then when she resigned, on the stream, they put a crown on the lettuce. Which, oh, friggin' perfect. This is an exchange, a fake exchange between Joe Rogan and a guest. It says, Joe Rogan, hamburgers are good, but I'm trying to eat less pork. Guest, hamburgers are made with beef. Joe Rogan, ham is from pork, and it says ham and hamburger. Guest, it is beef. Joe Rogan, that's not what I've heard. Jamie, look that up. Jamie, it's beef. Guest, it's beef. Joe, okay, but we can really never trust hamburger makers and butchers and grocery stores because when the word ham is in hamburger and ham means pork. Joe Rogan fans, this is why I like him. He is good at thinking.
Exactly. Dude, exactly.
Bros,
I liked Joe Rogan until he started, like, having a podcast. Like, when he was just doing stand-up, the guy was decent.
All right.
At least that's the way I remembered him. And then, whatever. And then I liked watching him when I watched MMA. Like, he was a good announcer or whatever. I just didn't give a fuck about him, right? And then I met this guy at a restaurant who was like, I love Joe Rogan. I listen to him every day. And that guy sucked.
Right.
So much. I've actually never heard Joe Rogan's podcast, but I have met his fans, and that's more than enough for me.
Right. One of the funniest things for me is one of the first guys has to post, actually, according to recent, and like has a Snopes fact check, did Joe Rogan say hamburgers were made from ham? And I'm like,
God.
Bro, at no point did I question this was fiction to make a point about a generalized
Clearly
behavior.
The guest is named Guest.
Right, exactly. And I pulled a quote from the article. It just says, the podcast host had a difficult time accepting new information that countered his preconceived beliefs. And the picture of Ed with the point flying over his head says, this is Ed. Ed is missing something. Don't be like Ed.
Mm-hmm.
I never questioned this was fit. See, you laughed too, Michael, because it was like, it's a joke. All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Steve Hofstetter, had an exchange with one of his fans. I'm not sure. Says this comment came through on the listing for my Charlotte show. Eric, whose last name is crossed out, says, used to be funny, but he's just a tool. Democratic hack. And Steve replies back to him, Eric, I've been outspokenly political since I was in middle school. When did you like me? When I was 9? It's just like, that's so much. Okay, here. Front of the show, George Cruikshank. George, we miss you, baby.
Hey.
George reposts Sex Haver. And Sex Haver says, trains are to engineering as crabs are to biology. On a long enough time scale, if you optimize almost any system enough, you eventually end up with some form of either a train or a crab. And Literally Mechanical replies with a post from Dan Boxburtonson that says, our 100,000 core machine learning cluster has spent 2.5 million CPU years looking for innovative solutions to highway congestion. The AI? Trains. Us? No, not like that. Boxerton continues going through the source data sets with a machete again. Who taught you that word? Who taught you trains, AI? And basically people say it's just inventing trains from scratch spontaneously every time we turn it on. Yep. If I remember right, too, friend of the show, Chelsea, just posted an all caps response. It was just like, please, can we get some goddamn trains?
That's awesome.
So fun. Friend of the show, Chelsea, again, second appearance in the show, posts a comment, an exchange with George, saying, right around the dinner time / baked potato frustrations, poor babe, it'll be okay. Smoochy face, heart, smoochy face. Potatoes suck to cook. They're easier to get at the same-ish time when you cut them up. George replies, "Stupid whore potatoes in that skank oven. The microwave would never treat me like this." It's just like, I mean, I love it when somebody says something we've all thought, because seriously, stupid whore potatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all hear it, but George said it. Moving on, friend of the show, Chandler, and apparently Chandler is quite the man these days. Repost Born Gay. And we have the game show with the 4 questions there where you can call a lifeline, but I can't remember what it is. And the question...
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire? And the contestant has a scrunched up face. He's really thinking about it, because the question is, what do Christians hate the most? A, Harry Potter. B, questions. C, the gays. D, living like Christ. And George replies, gotta be the D. Living like Christ. All right, got about 4 more here before we get to our post with the most and wrap this up. Friend of the show, Dennis, reposts Brian Thawara, who's reposting Dracon Nick Gaming. I don't know. He just says, D&D is a role-playing game that lets you live out fantasies such as having money, making close friends as an adult, traveling the world without crippling debt, being able to change the world, getting better at something with practice, getting 8 hours of sleep each night. Live out your fantasies, boys. D&D. All right, got a couple more left there. Friend of the show, Haley, reposts James McMinn. And we have the 2 panel of the girl communicating on her phone, with her boy. And first we see a Facebook tag, and it says, "Men deserve nothing." And then we're over on the WhatsApp thing, and it says, "Did you eat today, baby?" And Mike replies, "I have not ate yet today. Come feed me." All right, I got 3 more left here. Memes to piss off conservatives making their second appearance in the show. And if you're not following memes to piss off conservatives, where do you get your memes to piss off conservatives? They have reposted Rational Wiki, also excellent, saying, in other hilarious news, Vox Day lost all the money for his alt-right Confederate superheroes comic to a crypto scammer. I Googled it, and yes, there is an alt-right comic, as we can see, pictured here. The female character in Rebels, Pratfall, actually has the stars and bars across her face, like that's her superhero mask. And I don't know, I don't understand. She's carrying the semi-automatic weapon from the future, and she's wearing tactical gear, but she's Confederate. I don't understand what kind of... Anyway, so apparently...
Looks like it'd make a great NFT. If you like
Vox
this,
Day.
I got some NFTs I'll tell you. Vox Day.
Dude, I love it. I've got 3 different people losing money on here, and it just keeps getting funnier. All right, 2 more, and then we are down to our last post with the most. Workers Meme Redistribution Union. And if you're not following the Workers Meme Redistribution Union, get it together, comrade. They have eyes everywhere. This is beautiful. A woman released a swarm of bees on officers serving an eviction. When Woods was told that several officers were allergic to bees, she replied, "Oh, you're allergic? Good." There's pictures of them like loading up beehives. I don't even know what's going on there in Hampden County Sheriff Department. But man, Woods, you are beautiful. All right, and last for this round, breaking news: man invents fictional scenario and then gets angry about it, making way too many appearances in this show. Reposting Frank McCormick says, "I'm old enough to remember when sex education didn't involve the teacher talking about their personal sex lives and favorite kinks." Because that's what sex ed is now there, Frank. And that is everything but my post with the most for Facebook for the Blind.
Here you go. My post with the most. This is it. We got here. My post with the most is attributed to friend of the show at namaste.at.home.dad. That's right, namaste at home dad. And this is the picture of like Chad in the corner drinking, everybody else is dancing. And this time Chad is wearing a Swan t-shirt and like a really expensive boots and a toque on his head. And he says, he's thinking to himself, they don't know I'm pretending to not have rich parents. Then there's a guy with long wavy hair who's dancing with a girl, and he's thinking, they don't know I'm pretending to not have rich parents. And then there's a girl wearing a shirt that says God's favorite and showing her tummy, and she says, they don't know I'm pretending to not have rich parents. And then there's another girl dancing who says, they don't know I'm pretending to not have rich parents. And way in the corner, there's a guy saying, I know it's 3 a.m., but I wonder if my dad will Venmo me $80.
Nice.
And that was my post with the most. I have got a lot of working class people following me. So let's see, TD, what was yours this week?
TD.
My post most comes from friend of the show, Baking While Baked at Couchman Bakes on Twitter. Please go follow him. He'd appreciate the hell out of it.
Nice.
He posted a picture of Tom, Jerry, and Spike the Bulldog from the old Tom and Jerry cartoons, walking, swinging their arms, looking very content and happy with themselves, big pimping. And it says, me and my friends on our way to smoke some weed. And yeah, I feel that. So yeah, that's most of this week.
I did not recall there was ever a time when Spike, Tom, and Jerry all got along, even for a step here. This is amazing. So,
oh yes, I remember this episode actually.
Thanks for the reminder. And my post with the most from friend of the show, Father Nathan Monk, who's reposted Pushing Up Daisy, says, do you think Eve was like, my pronouns are she, her, and Adam was like, oh, here we go with the made-up pronouns. In my day, we had only one gender.
Oh, that's a good joke.
It was a solid
That's awesome.
joke. And that, I believe, wraps up an episode of Facebook for the Blind for October 25th, 2022. Thank you. Mwah!
Love you, George.
Woo!
Boop.
All right, boys. I have
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.